This year, I've watched a bunch of vaguely historical movies, and I've noticed a few tropes. There are strong and manly kings and warriors, and delicate, beautiful queens. There's a lot of war, but everyone's very stoic about it, except sometimes women or cowards. And during fights, when everything's getting intense and sad, it goes into slow motion, and the sound of a woman melodically wailing rings out over the battlefield. Obviously, that's just part of the soundtrack, but it got me thinking about how it could be part of a world. So let's visit Poslahwa, a little kingdom around a dormant volcano. They've got the region's only access to gold, copper, precious stones, fertile land, and hot springs that many surrounding kingdoms find sacred, and that means it gets into a lot of wars. They tell stories about Poslahwa. When babies are born there, their cries are cut out and kept in Poslahwa's 7 towers. In battle, they're terrifying. They never disobey or panic or surrender. One time, Poslahwa was sieged, and none of them even seemed to notice, but the towers shrieked. These stories aren't quite true. The people of Poslahwa do have emotions, but they're dulled to, let's say, 1/8 of what everyone else feels. Most of them, at least. There's a council of 7 kings who do have emotions, and they're jointly responsible for things like laws, judgments, and festivals. When war comes, the kings are commanders. It would be easy for them to be corrupt and not care about the people, but they've got a vested interest in keeping the kingdom happy. That's what the 7 queens are for. Every king has to be nominated to the council by the woman he cares most about. That could be a family member, friend, or partner. But it has to be a woman, and she has to nominate a man, because this society tends to think of men as doing and women as feeling. If the council chooses him to become a king, the woman he cares most about will become a queen. She stays in a little room at the top of a tower. People can visit, and supplies are sent up, but as long as she's a queen, she can't leave. But usually she's okay with that, because all the emotions of Poslahwa are directed up to the tower. This idea has been in my head for a while, but I couldn't decide how that would work beyond just magic. Eventually, I was inspired by a book I really liked as a kid, The Wind Singer. There's a dystopian city with a strange tower at its centre, made of metal pipes and horns and wind scoops. The protagonists go on a journey to find its missing piece, the wind singer's voice. And when they slot the voice into the tower, it begins to sing, and everyone is happy. So, vaguely inspired by this, Poslahwa is full of scoops and pipes and wind catchers that magically gather feelings and direct them to the closest tower. When the people of Poslahwa are generally mildly happy, the queens are overjoyed. That's what makes it worth it, and it means they're unlikely to nominate a man they don't trust to keep the population reasonably happy. The calendar of Poslahwa is full of festivals, often created by historical kings on days significant to their queens. But when the people are struggling a bit, if they go too hungry or are dissatisfied with laws, the queens suffer. If they have faith that the council can fix it, they'll put up with it. The happiness is worth it. But if the suffering is too much, they can resign just by opening the door and walking out, and their king will automatically be forced off the council. Except when Poslahwa's at war. Then they're locked in. This whole thing was originally just for wartime, long ago when everyone had emotions and there were no queens. In peacetime, Poslahwa had councils of 77 men, chosen by lot to serve a year. But when wars started, they picked a council of 7 generals, and their loved ones were taken to the towers, essentially taken hostage by Poslahwa. It saved the population from having to suffer too much, and in theory it made the generals do a better job. At the end of a war, the funnels would be folded up and the wind catchers would be shattered, and everything would go back to normal. But the wars kept getting more frequent and longer, until at the end of one war, when emotions came rushing back to people, they didn't know what to do with them, and so they shut it off. And ever since then, nearly all the emotions of Poslahwa have been funneled up to the towers. No enemy's ever gotten close enough to see what's inside, but they say that in the heat of battle, if you kill enough Poslahwans, you'll see them all staring at you with their dull eyes, and then you'll hear it. 7 cries ringing out from the towers of Poslahwa, rising and falling like a song in the wind.